Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a bench press day. But a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below, be greatly appreciated. And making some changes, as I said, streamlining volume a little bit. We're going to do basically 4 exercises per workout, getting the most bang for my buck out of everything, putting the work where I need it. Something I'm going to do different as far as my 5-3-1 ramp ups. I think the standard traditional ramp ups are not particularly good for training workload. I'm using some variations that even Wendler has done to where he does much longer ramp ups, and I'm just skipping the early stuff. So what I'm doing is 5% jumps. So what you're seeing today is, again, not doing these really large ones. So I actually get work sets in. So my 2 warm-ups each time going to the peak set are heavy enough to get effective reps. So I would really count this as a heavy 3x5 today, going to a peak 5 rep set instead of just some warm-ups and then a 5. And I'm going to do my 5-3-1 that way, I think, on everything. And then for now, I'm going to do 5x10 back-offs. This gives me, for my 4 main exercises each week, a ridiculous amount of volume. We're having a programmed progression on the first 3 sets, and then everything else is 10s for back-off. Okay, not so much program, but it's percentage-based. It's percentage-based. And I'm running it at 60% of my training maxes. So that's exactly what I did today. You guys will also notice I'm doing the heels up. I get a much bigger arch. And some people are like, is the arch that big? Your range of motion is long. I have long arms. No, that arch is big. There is easily 8 inches, 7-8 inches between my low back and the bench at that point. So for me, that is a really big arch. That's a big cheater arch. And you know what? It's a lot easier on my shoulders, and people noticed I pop off the chest faster. So I think that's going to help. And I think that the pop off the chest, because that's where I missed that false grip the other day, that'll help get everything moving again. It means that my incline will continue to get me popping off the chest, and after that I just need to worry about tricep work. So you guys are going to see that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a flat bench day with this sort of volume. I'm going to do an incline day, similar volumes, and I'm just going to do tricep work because I'm close gripping anyways. I'm getting a ton of pec and delt off this pressing. I don't need any other supplemental lifting, just triceps. I just need to get my arms bigger. All right, we need to get the arms bigger. So again, everything is streamlined. So it's going to be 4 exercises, but keep in mind, if I do it this way and I do heavier ramp ups on, again, squat, bench, deadlift, and incline bench as my 4 main days, that's 8 work sets. That's a ridiculous amount of volume there. But my volumes overall, though, for my work is going to be low because I'm using those to do most of my real volume. Everything else is going to be carefully selected supplemental work. There'll be a lot of rowing. But even then, the question becomes, how much rowing do I need? I'm deadlifting for 8 sets a week. And that's a whole nother topic. You know, there's a lot of coaches who've pointed out and shown that they've had lifters who they've done nothing but deadlift, and their upper back and rear delts grow. Traps, everything, if you have them do enough deadlifting, which is what I'm doing these days. So again, that question becomes, do I really need much upper back and delt work and everything else? Probably not. I think 10 sets of rows per week will do it. 10 sets. And I'm going to do them all on the fat bar. Why? Because I feel like grip is my limiting factor on deadlift. So if I do all my rows with the fat bar, which I'm strong on, a lot of guys are like, well, isn't that limiting strength? Until they realize I can pin lay row with the fat bar more than they can row. It's like, so, oh, never mind. All right, and I'm going to bring this up. At my best, I got up to where I believe I could do something like 230 for 10 on these rows with the fat bar before. I want to get to that and past it. Today we did 215. So I went up a little. It was challenging. Some of the sets were harder than others. The last set, because I really found the groove in my grip, was actually not that bad. So short-term goal, I want to get back to that 230 for 5x10 real quick on these. All right, and we're going to keep doing the fat bar work because this is really what gives me the grip that I need, the grip training. This is probably the best grip training I've ever done. Back when I was doing a lot of fat bar rows, I had no problems doing holds at the top of deadlifts. Like, remember when I pulled that 615 the first time? I've been doing a bunch of fat bar work going into that. And I walked over there and held it and talked for a minute and set it down. Right at the lockout. All right, I need to be able to do that with 650. I need to be able to do that with 650. And again, people may not be aware, but technically my current deadlift strength is already multiple federation world records when I start competing again by a small margin. So we need to bring that up. I want to bring that up, and I've got to work on the grip. All right, everyone forgets, they like to point out, oh, Jason, your benching isn't amazing. But they forget that I am literally at national and world record level strength on my squat and deadlift. Problem is, totals are harder to get because of my bench. So we're going to work the bench. But I think the problem, like I've said in the past, I overtrain all my benching and all my pressing. I really do. I have a bad habit of doing it. I really need to just bring some of the upper body volume down and be efficient with it. And focus on the things I need to. Look, stronger forearms and grip. Building forearms will actually help my benching, because I do know with some of my bar path and positioning, I need thicker forearms for my bench. It's one of the downsides of having long arms like I do, smaller wrists and all that. Forearms have to be overdeveloped. And that actually helps a lot. It helps a lot making up for that. It really does. So again, fat bar work with the rows, and we'll get those up to really good numbers shortly again. Once you get past 225 for 10s on the fat bar for rowing, you're up there with still building massive back muscle with that, in spite of the grip being a major factor. But again, build forearms. Same thing here. This is PR volume, at least, on this today. I managed to get, actually, I think I hit 11 on the last set. So doing 80 pounds with the fat bar for 5 sets of 10, this is the first time I've pulled that off. I know I've done 3 sets of 10, so we're going to build from here. Again, my bicep work needs to work forearms also. And, you know, I feel a lot of shoulder on this. Like, I feel my upper back and delts and everything. So, again, we come over to that point of, yes, I'm still going to continue to build my shoulders with what I'm doing. It's just not what people are thinking of as traditional, maybe the bodybuilder way. But I'm not a bodybuilder. But, again, it works. And a lot of coaches have proven these things work. So this is what we're going to do. It's going to be primary press each day. For the way I'm programming it, it's going to be a lot of work. I'm going to do fat bar rows. I'm going to do fat bar curls. And then we're going to do tricep extensions. And I need to pick extensions that are easy on the tendons. I just need to get my triceps bigger. We just need to pump them up. And make sure the tricep gets complete development. My arms are really, more than anything, my arms limit my bench. Let's be honest here. I really do believe that. Yes, we're still training pecs and delts and everything, obviously, because we're doing pause benching, we're doing incline. Keeping it all close grip, though, will be easier on my shoulders. And I think I found my leverages there. Like if we look at the wrist stacking and everything on the benching, I think that's kind of a sweet spot. I do need to work on getting a little better arch. That'll help. And after that, a lot of it's going to be just building the benching and then making sure my triceps are developed so that I can lock it once I get it moving fast off the chest. And so after the fat bar curls, we did plain dumbbell extensions. And you know what? No ego on these. Everyone wants to try to go super heavy. Nope, I'm not going to beat my elbows up. Just did pump work with short breaks, 30-pound dumbbells, 5 sets of 10. And I kept the breaks real short just to get in and get a pump. Because I'm already doing all that other pressing volume. We're getting heavy work every workout for the triceps. We're doing closed grip benching, closed grip incline benching for heavy 5, 3, and 1 rep sets to start of all my upper body days. I need to just come in and just get that pump, make sure I get blood flow to it, hit the long head, get that stretch. And I think an exercise like this works great. It's easier on the tendons because of the dumbbells. It hits all 3 heads. Make sure that we fully develop that long head, which again, you guys saw the EMG data I showed you guys for benching. When you hit benches at 90% and above your 1 rep max, the long head just lights up crazy high, but it doesn't on the rep work, which again kind of explains why building the triceps seems to help with max benching. Makes sense when you look at that data. It's like, okay, there's now some scientific literature showing something that powerlifters have oftentimes figured out a little bit. And it's just interesting to look at data like that. So I did these, and then I did a set of med ball throws because people always say, Jason, there's things you say you do that you don't do on camera ever. So I did one set of my med ball throws, which is just on a bench, did a 30 pounder for a 10 rep set. I'll probably do a little more later. I always warm up that way too. Before I bench, I actually do a set of those before I bench right now. People may not have been aware of that. But I always tell people I do jumps and throws. I do sled work. I do GPP, so I demonstrated the sled drags this weekend, and they're boring. People, that's why I don't show you guys the sled work. You walk. If it requires any technique or learning curve, it is useless for GPP. Any exercise that has a learning curve that you can't figure out in 5 seconds on your own with no instruction, do not use it for GPP. It's very simple. It should be idiot proof. And a sled drag is idiot proof. You just hook the harness up and you walk. That's all you do. And no one should have to teach you how to walk, right? You already know how to walk, I would hope. If you don't, then you got bigger problems. So I did a set of med ball throws at the end just so that you guys see what it actually is. It's on the bench. You can do them standing also, but this is bench specific. So just to show you guys one set. So I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.